I was thinking about recording this video with somebody else and wasn't exactly sure who to do this with, and all of a sudden I get this in my email.
Hey, I'm back!
So I thought perhaps Lamar can assist me. Maybe we can go somewhere in the mountains and do it from there. Although I didn't get any response when I asked him about it. So then I thought perhaps he would enjoy more of a lake type scenario, and didn't hear anything about that either, which was kind of strange. Then I decided, how about maybe he wants to do it inside or something. So I thought we'd do it this way. And when I offered that as a suggestion, this is the response I got back from Lamar.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord! Stop it!
Of course, when it came to the question where to present embedX, Lamar had one answer.
Go plus!
So finally I just asked him, am I on my own presenting this thing? Lamar?
Yep.
So I know I'm on my own. Lamar is not going to help me. So we'll do it this way then. embedX was written as a follow-up to my HOA Live utility, which enabled Hangouts on Air videos to be posted easily to any web page with just a couple of clicks and a couple of keystrokes. And embedX basically, it's kind of like that HOA Live utility on steroids, because it enables you to embed multiple embeds or videos on various pages. But it's still fairly easy to use. So first, let me show you an example of how it works. So here I am on my video page on my website, and let's say I wanted to put down at the bottom here where it says no, that second slot, let's say I wanted to have one of Lamar's videos over here. So I go to YouTube, find Lamar's video here, and we'll find one of his videos here. Say Lamar Wilson, and we click on one of his videos here, for example, and once it comes up, the next step is to click on the share button here, which will give us the embed code. If you click on this embed button, then you can see down below right here is the embed code. We just simply hit Control-C to copy that. Now all I have to do is go back to the video page just so you can see it live. If I go to my embedX folder and say I want to stick something in the second video slot, then I just simply select that. It'll ask me what embed code I wish to put there, and I just hit Control-V to paste what I copied from YouTube. Click OK, and now, as you can see, I have a second video there. And if we play it, then it should be Lamar Wilson's, one of his old ones.
Talking to YouTube star Lamar Wilson about iBooks 2 and his switch over to Android.
You can see it's working just fine from my web page. Let's say I wanted to replace the stop video. So, for example, let's say we wanted to replace with something from, say, the Beatles, for example. And so we find something of the Beatles, and yeah, help is appropriate. So we'll click on help, and again we click on share, and we click on embed, and there's the embed code. So we copy that, Control-C. But in this case now I want to put it in the first slot, not the second slot on my video page. So I click on embedX folder and click on the first slot, hit Control-V to paste, click OK, and now, as you can see, when it pulls up my page, now we have this Beatles video there.
I need somebody, not just anybody. You know I need someone.
Works great. So that's how you use the new embedX in real life. And now the next step I'd like to do is just go through and explain to you how it works and how you can set it up for your own websites. Now I'd like to talk about how to make this work. And to do so, you need to create a file on your web server, which is the file we're looking at here right now. As you can see, it only has really 7 lines, very quick and simple. And then we're going to have to create one or more bookmarklets in the browser and modify your web page where the actual embed will be sitting to indicate where it's supposed to be showing up on the page. So let's start with this main file. You want to enter it and create it exactly as I have it here, and you put all these lines in there with the exception of this line 9, which basically allows you, once the process gets done and embed is in place, to go to that particular web page and see what it looks like. You don't have to do this last part at all. If you don't want to, you can just have it change your page and be done. And this is why I have this particular line commented out with these 2 slashes. But you can certainly change it to be like this by getting rid of the slashes, and then change the actual page name to be whatever web page you want it to go to. So you keep all of this information here as it is, and you change this to your own page name. If you don't want it to do anything, just leave. You don't even have to put this line in. So you just put in the first 7 lines. To quickly explain what it does, I'm basically grabbing the embed code itself on this line here, and I'm grabbing a file number, as I call it, or embed number. And that just allows me to have multiple embeds on the same page or on multiple pages using the same process. Then I'm going ahead and creating a file named embed-inc, and then I put a suffix on it with this file number .php. Then I create the file physically on disk, or it comes up with an error message saying it can't write the file in case for some reason it cannot. Then I actually write the file to disk and close the file on disk. So it's a pretty straightforward process. You don't really need to know how it works or what it does necessarily to make it work. Just put the code in exactly as shown here, and it'll work just fine on your end. Second step is to create bookmarklets. And what you want to do is for every place in your page or pages where you want to have the embed code, because you might want to have multiple videos stuck in multiple places, you will create one of these references, one of these bookmarklets for every single place where you want a video to be shown. So for example, in my case, in my example, I had 2 videos on one page, so I needed to have 2 bookmarklets. And so you put the code in just as it's shown here on this one line. Remember, this is one line though, it's not 2 lines, just because of the size it's showing like this. And what you want to do is you want to modify this part here to be your own website, or whichever website you're trying to put the embeds into. That's the first part you need to change. And then after the slash, that's the name of the page that'll actually do the process, and that's why it's important to have that name be exactly the same as the file we just created here. Notice it's called embedvideo.php, and that's what we're referencing here. So this part gets changed to your website, this part stays the same if you call it the same way as I did in the prior step. And then the only other thing you need to change potentially is you change this n equals 1 to be n equals to whatever suffix you want to use for your embeds, and those are totally up to you. You can use numbers, you can use letters, you can use even a combination of numbers and letters, you can even use words if you want. All of that stuff will work. What's important to remember is that particular bookmarklet would be associated with a particular piece of code in your page, and that's where it becomes important. I'll show you in a minute. So for now, let's just say we're going to embed one video and we're going to call the end, call it 1. Once you create this bookmarklet and in your browser, then the next step to do is to actually put the one-line include code in your page, wherever that embed is supposed to show up. And you simply do it by putting 3 lines like this, where you put the word include, you put an embed-inc, and then the suffix we used 1, so that file number was 1, so that's why I put this 1 here, .php. If you use a, then obviously you would say embed-inc a.php. If in the prior step you used 25, then you would say embed-inc 25.php. So it's very easy, and you put this one line where it's supposed to be in that particular place on your page. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you for taking a look at embedX. I hope you find it useful as I have, and feel free to share with anybody you wish. I also like to extend a special thanks to Lamar Wilson for seriously enhancing this video. You can see a bunch of his videos on YouTube, including the famous Flying Dead Cat video. And if you need any assistance, you can contact me on
Go Plus.
Finally, a word from our legal department.
Man, it must be crazy trying to sue that girlfriend. How you gonna sue her for what he did, man? She ain't responsible for what he did just because he answered, man. That's his fault. He shouldn't be answering back. Maybe he just wanted some kind of booty call or something like that. But that's inappropriate for this video. But I'm just saying, I ain't gonna be getting sued because I sent a text to somebody else and they answered and they in the car crash. That ain't my fault. You ain't gonna do nothing to me. I ain't got no money anyway, so what you gonna do?